What's going on, everyone? Welcome to my live stream, Tim's Computer Repair. My name is Tim, obviously. This is my live stream, streaming from my computer repair shop. How is everyone doing today? Today, we're going to be troubleshooting this Dell Desktop Computer. And let's see, I want to see exactly what model computer this is actually. So what I'm going to do is pop in this service tag over here, Dell, on Dell's site. Let's see what I can do here. Support, Dell support. This service tag is, if I can read my own writing, GRW XDK, no, yeah, is it a W or an N? I can't read my writing. XDK1, let's try that. XDK1. Let's see what that shows here. So this is a Dell Inspiron 546. This is running Windows 7. Tony C. Perry. Justin, what's happening, buddy? I hear you. Anyway, this is a Inspiron 546. It's, you know, a little long in the tooth age-wise. It's running Windows 7. Customer brought it in. The only thing I've done to this computer right here is blew it out. It is quite dusty. So I blew it out. And from what the guy states here, that it does power on, and but it doesn't post. Basically, is he didn't put it in those words, but you know, that's basically what he says it's doing. It's nothing's coming on the screen. So we're going to verify that that is the case here, and we'll troubleshoot this thing live. The computer's a little old, but that's okay, because the same technique really of troubleshooting is used even on today's computers, you know, desktop computers. So let's just see how it goes, right? My nice water here. I guess what we need to do is hook up our stuff, huh? Well, we don't need, I don't know if we'll need a mouse or anything. Based upon what the customer was saying, but of course, as we all know, we can't rely on what the customer says all the time, right? Cool. Do I sound okay? Everything looks okay? Just making sure. Let me get this plugged in here. Mouse. Where we go with the keyboard here? Let me get one of these guys over here. You know, actually, I'm probably not even going to mess with the keyboard and mouse right now. You know why? Because if it's not posting, I mean, with a mouse or a keyboard, that's not going to matter. So why even bother, right? One thing we do need to do. What's up, Joseph? Good. Good. Glad you can hear me and see me. All right. So then, of course, we're going to go with the power, obviously. Get this guy plugged in. Got a green light. That's a good sign, right? Green light on the power supply. So, and then the monitor here. I've got my monitor. We'll plug that in. And let's see how this goes, right? So let me get you up here a little bit more so you can at least see the monitor and the fans there we go. And so basically let's just fire it up and see if we get a post. Oh wow, fan spinning high, no beeps, no post. Just really high fan RPMs there. Well, that's not good. So let's power this down. Unplug it. So what do you think, fellas? We have, looks like we have, I don't know, you guys can't see this. Let me bring you back down here. There you go, and get you to zoom in there a little bit. How about that, huh? So you can't see it. If I raise this, you might be able to see some of it. Like right here is a, hey Brian, what's going on, man? Dry text here. How about that, everybody? Cool, huh? Good old Brian. Yeah, Brian, just troubleshooting this fairly old Dell computer here. Pretty much just fired it up and the fans revved up 100%, but no post. So as I was saying, there is a, right here, there's a actually this is a PCI device right here, and a PCI slot. See it right here? It's like a modem or something maybe. There's 4 sticks of RAM in here. So we got 4 sticks of RAM. That's always a target point to me when you're talking that many sticks of RAM. That's just that much more chances that one of those RAM sticks can go wrong. Other than that, that's about it. You got a DVD drive plugged in here, and your front panel, and that's about it. So, you know, when you're getting no post and high RPM fans and everything, you know, I always like to maybe start off with maybe the RAM, and maybe we can pull and mix and match. But it's not going to hurt anything off the bat just to go ahead and pull the hard drive cables off and just go ahead and eliminate the hard drive from the equation. It's hardly unlikely that that's causing that, but nothing's impossible when it comes to electronics, yeah? So, anyway, we'll just hold off on the hard drive for now. I'll test that at another time. We've eliminated it from the motherboard, and we got 4 sticks of RAM, like I said. So we got like 2 whites and 2 blacks. I don't know. Let's just I'm just going to pop out the whites here. Let's just pop out the whites. I don't know what the configuration for dual channel is supposed to be on this board, but I'm just going to start off by popping out 2 of these and see what happens. I don't know what's causing the problem either. This is the first time opening up this Mitch, what's going on, Mitch? This is my first time opening up this case. All I've done is blown it out, so I don't know what's wrong with it myself. So we got 2 sticks out. Put those down over here. Let's get my cord here. Let's plug it in. Once again, up, green light. We got the green light. Hit the power. Very high RPM CPU fan. And up here, still no post. No beeps, no post. So I'll just go ahead and unplug that. And I'll go ahead and just take out this one more stick of RAM here, leave one stick in. Give that another try. Plug it back in. Fire it off. Very high RPM fan again, and no post. Ah, Daz is in the chat. What's going on, Daz? Just trying to troubleshoot this PC. You know, one thing to note here is I'm holding down the power button here in the front, holding it down, and that's not powering it off. That usually powers it off. That's another bad sign there. Anyway, I'm going to unplug it. And let me just move. I'm going to move this one RAM stick into the first white slot here, just in case if it's not configured to run one stick of RAM off of one of the black slots. Sometimes it's like that, so I'm just going to move that over to this first slot here. If I can get her to click in. It's not holding my tongue right or something, I guess. There we go. There's that one. There's that one. Alright, let me try it again. Fire it off. Very high RPM fan once again. No post, no beeps. Nothing there. Interesting. So, just in case, I'm going to pull this stick of RAM, and I'm going to put in one of these other sticks of RAM. Go back to this first black slot. Usually the first slot that's closest to the processor is recommended for single slots, but I just want to make sure that we're not using, that was a bad stick of RAM there. I could have pulled everything. I could have pulled all the good sticks and left the one bad stick in. So we'll try that. Fire it up. And same thing, no change. So we're looking for a change, any kind of a change other than the CPU fan at 100%. So, I don't know. I could try to move this RAM stick one more time just for kicks to another white slot. And if that doesn't work, then I'm going to probably call it quits on the RAM, and we'll move on to something else. Oh my gosh, these things are tough to get in there. There we go. Whew. All right, let's try this one more time. Plug it in. Green light. Power button. 100% fan. All right. Well, I would say the RAM probably isn't the issue with this. I would have thought. So, so what else is connected to this board? So I'm looking here at this PCI add-in card here, this one. So let me go ahead. We're just going to go ahead and remove that, just in case if that is causing the issues. You never know. Right? See if we can pop this guy out. All right. That's out. And I'm going to go ahead and move this RAM stick back to the first slot. The black slot closest to the processor. Sorry for the hands there one time. That's tough there. Let's see. There we go. All right. Alright, so and I'm going to just for giggles disconnect the DVD-ROM. So we got one stick of RAM. We got no expansion slots installed. The only other thing we have plugged into this board is front panel. And then the USBs, which the USBs visually they look fine, they're not damaged. On the rear also here they look just fine, so there's no, that's one thing to look for. You know, check your USB ports, because if they're broken and snapped, you know they could be shorting out, causing those kind of problems too. Those look okay. This is the USB cable, so I'm just going to go ahead and unplug the USB also. Yep, that's USB. And so that just leaves the power button there, front panel power button up top there, I think. And that's it. So, and one stick of RAM. So let's try it now. Got a green light. Give it some power. 100%. 100%. And here on the monitor, nothing. So we're getting no change. It's not looking good, but I mean, nothing else is really plugged into the board. So let's do this. Let's clear the CMOS. Okay, all else fails. Clear the CMOS. So if you can see here on this side, let's see if I can zoom in a little more. Oh yeah, oh yeah. See if I can get a good view of that. This way, kind of. Turn me this way a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so you can see the CMOS battery here. Well, I'm going backwards. You can see the CMOS battery there. And come here. So we got CMOS battery here, and then right there is the CMOS jumper. Okay, so that's what we're going to go for now. There you go, Tony. Going with you, buddy. Getting this CMOS. So I'm going to push on the clamp with my spudger. All right, so that popped that out. Let me flip that out of the way. Then let me take my fat fingers here and see if I can move this jumper over. Let me stand up here. I'm going to have to stand up to do that. So move the jumper over. It has been moved over. I'm going to hold down the power button for whatever amount of time. Give it a few seconds here and see if this makes a difference. I hope it does. Hope it does. What do you guys think? Any thoughts, fellas? Anything? Any thoughts? Is this going to do it? Clearing the CMOS? I've seen it do it before. That would be something, wouldn't it? Alright, so I know sometimes people say you should let the CMOS sit overnight and all this stuff, but I mean, I've just cleared it, okay? I'm going to put this jumper back. I'm going to put the battery back in. Oops. Hitting the camera now. Put the camera back in. I mean the CMOS battery back in. And let me back the camera out a little bit. So we just cleared the CMOS. Right. This back over here. Cleared the CMOS. Make sure everything's out of the way here. That's the hard drive cable. SATA cable. Get that out of the way. Nothing else is in the way here. So I'm going to plug it in again. Got the green light. Yeah. Alright. Fire it up. Okay. That is no change, fellas. Mitch says, see if you could get beep codes without any RAM. Alright, yep, it does have a speaker here, Mitch. That would at least, Mitch, that would determine if there's even any life in the board, I guess. So let's pull that stick of RAM out. Let's go no RAM. No RAM. Okay, and let's plug it back in. And let's hit that power button. And we're getting 100% CPU fan, and we are getting no beeps, no posts. Of course you won't get no posts, there's no RAM in it. But you would have thought you'd at least get some beep codes going, right? This isn't looking good. So what else haven't we done here? Besides remove the motherboard completely from the case. Well, you know, the only thing I could think of before doing that is maybe, what, the power supply? But I mean, it seems like it's getting power. So maybe I'll try that. Maybe. I mean you got to rule it out, right? It seems like it's getting power. Don't want to do that. Looks like I'm trying to install the RAM in wrong, so we don't want to do that. Let's put this in properly. That slot wasn't lining up. Okay. Okay. Well, it's a long shot, but I'm going to check power connectors to the CPU, the 24 pin. That looks good. Tony, the 24 pin looks fine. The CPU, CPU 4 pin there looks fine. You know, let me get my test power supply out. Let's do that. Just to rule that out. I mean, I highly doubt it. But, you know, you can't just guess and doubt when it comes to stuff like this. You have to rule it out, right? Completely rule it out. 100%. Motherboard, Joseph? Yeah, well, very well could be, but let's try this here and see. So I'm going to remove the 24 pin here. There's that. Remove the 4 pin. 4 pin's been removed. Find my known good power supply here. This is my 24 pin here. Get that plugged in. Alright. And my 4 pin here. Get it kind of untangled. 4 pin. You can't see it, but I'm going to plug that in. It's a tough little spot to get to, but that's there. Okay. So now I've got the good power supply plugged in. 1 stick of RAM. Nothing else plugged into the board except for the power button. So I'm going to plug in this power supply. Going to hit the power switch on that, Okay, let's hit the power button. What? You're kidding. You're kidding. Look at this. Look at that. Man, you just never know when a power supply is an issue, huh? Wow. How about that? How about that? Boom, post. Well, that's rare, to be honest, to have fans spinning up that high. You know, I've seen that before with bad motherboards, but it's power supply. To my surprise, that really does surprise me. Oh, wow. You know what, though? You guys can't see this, but this, what is this, 80 millimeter fan here? It's not spinning, it's like, it's tight. It's barely moving. Now you can kind of see that through here. You can see it. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, C. Perry. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. You've got to rule that stuff out. Everything. You can't guess. No guesswork. But that was quite surprising to me too. I'm probably gonna shut this down now. And I probably will, well, let's see. I have a replacement power supply that I'll be using to, not this one, this is my bench one. I have a brand new one I'll be putting in this case. And I'll be opening up, I got a 430 watt EVGA. I think I showed you guys that one before, that I'll be putting in here. But what I'll probably do is just keep it like this, keep this power supply here, go ahead and start plugging everything back in and keep testing to be sure that the thing, you know, keeps posting and booting up to the hard drive and everything before I decide to start putting everything in here. And before I put, most important thing, before I put everything in here and swap this power supply out, is to call my customer and have him agree to a price. So then I will go through all of that work. But my diagnostics part of it is, the main part of it's okay. I do need to test the hard drive. I always do that. Whether I get the computer working or not, the hard drive always gets a test. I just need to put the rest of these memory sticks back in here and be sure I still post. I'll put this this thing here to be sure. I'm going to go ahead and probably give him a fan too. But we won't worry about all that right now. Let me back this thing off a little bit. Awesome, fellas. That was awesome. That was actually went different than I'd expected. I could have swore we were going to have a dead motherboard on this thing, you know. So, well, I guess real quick, I'll just put these RAM sticks back in here and just chat with you guys here a second before I sign off. But you know, oh, let me show you guys something real quick. Something that I have just to show you. Where is it? I don't know what I did with it. I think it's over here. Yeah. Check this out, man. You guys might have seen one of my videos on this, right? Something could have killed off the power supply. It possibly does. Who knows, right? With electronics, right? I know you guys have seen this before, right? Well, I think I've done a video on it. I don't even think you can find these anymore. But they're really good for things like those freaking fat screws that hold like fans into place, back here. And so this is electric, right? But listen to how weak it is right now. Let's see if you can hear this. All right, you hear how weak it is, and it's kind of slow. right? Watch this. Let me see if I can find the, yeah, here it is. Watch how fast this thing charges. Plug it in. Maybe go right here. Put something underneath so you can see. That's not going to help either. Let's go. Got a glare. Let's go this side. That's more like it. So right there's your dial for charging. So I'm going to take this, it's plugged in, and I'm going to pop it right in here. And then watch this gauge start to go up, right? So I mean, you can literally, I don't know, count to 60. Still going up really quick. So it doesn't take long at all. I mean, so once we get up into this smaller green bar here, that indicates that this is fully charged. And I mean, it holds a charge, man. It holds a charge for, I mean, if you don't use it, it'll still hold a charge for, you know, a couple months, and you still be able to use it. Okay? So now we're all the way, yep. So right now we're fully charged. How about that? Now listen to it. I mean, this is a nice little screwdriver, man. I love it. How about that? Boom, it'll come right out. Those tricky screws. Anyway, I love my little, it's called a flash cell screwdriver. I honestly don't think they make them anymore. I don't even think I don't think you can find them anymore, to be honest with you. But I just wanted to share that because I love my screwdriver there. Anyway, pretty cool. I use it for all kinds of things. But let me just real quick before I go, we're gonna pop in these RAM sticks, and I'm gonna put in these RAM sticks. Man, these sticks are hard to get in this motherboard. It's crazy. I'm gonna be sure it posts, and I'm gonna be sure it boots to the hard drive. And once we do that, then we know we've pretty much got this repair licked, and then we'll sign off. Those power supplies, C. Perry says those power supplies don't have any excess power. If anything goes sideways, it can go do stupid things. Well, obviously, C. Perry, that's true. I mean, with those fans spinning up like that, you just automatically assume that it's getting plenty of power. But there's that word, you know, assume. Let's see what rail's not working, Daz. Oh, Daz. That's the direction Daz would go. Let's figure out what rail is broken, was not working on it. Yeah, well, you know, maybe in another video. Those things are, what is it? It's a high pro or a hip pro, you know the kind. I mean, those, they're not worth a nothing, you know. So it's not even worth looking at, I guess. I bet if I pop that open, they'll be like blown caps or something. All right, that's all 4 sticks of RAM in. Let me plug this in and boot it up real quick, just to be sure that these sticks of RAM are good. Let's hit the power button. Ah, got a beep. There you go. And there's the post. So we're okay there. Check. RAM sticks are good. Awesome. Yep. All right. Unplug it, of course. Okay. Cool, fellas. All right, one more thing to do here. I'll put this Daz, when are you going to do a live feed from your shop, man? Daz, Fix It Daz, you guys ought to go see his channel. He does some really technical stuff, man. Some of the electronic stuff he has in there. I'm struggling with this thing here. Did I get it? That's it. Fix It Daz, YouTube, man. Check Fix It Daz out. He gets pretty technical on some stuff. Daz is a different breed when it comes to electronics, I'm telling you. All right, got that back in there. Okay, right. Let's go ahead and plug in our I'm using a different power supply, so I got to bring these around now, right? Let's ugly it up even more. How about that, though? You guys remember the last one we did like this? I could have sworn it was a power supply. Oh, I think it was. Part of it was. I've got another 450 watt, 430 watt EVGA sitting in here, so. All right, so that's plugged in. That's plugged in. We got the expansion slot in there. I won't change this fan just yet until I get a price from the guy, and let's just see it boot up here. How about that? Where's my power? Where's my power? Here it is. All right, fire it off. Streaming issues. Yeah, it could be a little bit of a tricky thing, Daz. Oh, I need a keyboard. Let me put a keyboard in here. Especially, I think are you going Wi-Fi, Daz, there? Hey, Ben, what's up, buddy? If you're trying to go Wi-Fi, do it through Wi-Fi. I guess you could do it. I mean, that's... I don't know, man. It took me a while to get this set up. You need to use OBS. That's software to stream it through. Daz, are you using OBS? Let me get my keyboard here real quick so we can sign off here. One quick little test here. I've got a mouse. Here's the keyboard. Let's try it again. Power. Power. So we should have a CMOS error. Do we? Check some CMOS error. F2. There we go. Date and time. Just real quick. It is 17 14. And this is what? 03 14 2018 F10. All right. F10, save and exit, yes. And let's just boot up. Let's just see what happens there. Works crazy, Ben. That's a good thing, though, man. That's good to see you here, Ben. I'm about done, though. Oh, BT Daz? Yeah, okay. Say no more. I've heard about BT over here in the States, man. You'll get it. I know you won't give up on it. You sure won't. Loading Windows. So anyway, just let that load up there. That'll load up just fine, I think. So let me just move this down here, have a seat. There we go. Alright, I got his account here up. I'm not going to show his name for his privacy reasons. So I'm just going to back this out. And come over here. What's up, fellas? Alright. Ben, good to see you, man. I know you just got here and this camera's all crooked up, but I don't care. Ben, I know you just got here. Sorry, man. I got to cut this one off. I don't want it to drag on and on. Daz, glad you can make it here, buddy. Glad you can make it. So glad to see you. Brian, if you're still here, thanks. C. Perry, Tony, as usual, thanks a lot. Thanks to all of you guys. All of your moderation. I appreciate that too. Let's see you next time, all right? Well, I'll be back around soon. We're going to do another one. I think I got another one lined up you'll like. See you later, fellas.